that introduction fires me up. I can't believe it has been so long since we have done this together. This is really cool opportunity for me to do this. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another badass episode of Roofing Underground. I'm your host, Dave Taggart, the Roof Poppy, the motherfucking CEO. I got to be careful what I say on YouTube. First 30 seconds. The MF CEO here at A5 Roofing, Roofing Underground, your favorite roofer's favorite roofer. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And appreciate you coming, man. Definitely appreciate you coming in, stopping in, and checking us out tonight. I had a love-hate conversation with somebody earlier, and it kind of put something on my heart, and I wanted to share it with you and kind of catch your feedback and see what you thought. I know there's a lot of conversation end of the year. We've been hearing about, retail sales and what does it mean, and I'm stopping by neighborhoods actually when I'm out working and I'm meeting with other roofers and they're asking me, Dave, what do you think? What do you think? And I'm giving them just my honest opinion, right? I've only owned a roofing company now for 3 years. We celebrated our 3-year anniversary as business owners back in November and in October, excuse me. And it was a really cool feeling to see where we've gone from and where we're at in our ownership, and a lot of the lessons we've learned. And I've had a wonderful opportunity to talk to a lot of very successful entrepreneurs and business owners along the way, and I've gathered kind of a lot of different things from them, their opinions and kind of how they look at owning a company and being an entrepreneur versus an intrapreneur. And I'm gonna share this stuff with you tonight, because I think it's very valuable. Getting into some of these conversations, not today, prior to talking with other owners of companies, we get into these conversations and they share with me the things that they're concerned about, right? And they're in their own business. They tell me about the problems that they're having. They ask me their opinions on, should we do this? Should we do that? Should I pay people 1099? Dave, what are you doing? So on and so forth. And again, I offer my advice, whether it be limited or not. The shit is this. Here's my advice. This is what I think. Take it for what it's worth. And I think it's really important for guys to understand that the questions you have about what should you be doing with your business, you're not the only fucking person that owns a company that it's like, hey, what the fuck should I do about this? Right? The problems are just much bigger. It never goes away. It doesn't change. Just the impact that the problems may have gets a lot bigger. Okay. So it's not like you're going to get to 1 year and a problem's completely solved and it'll never happen again. That's fucking ridiculous. That's not going to happen. What is going to happen is the problem's going to repeat itself every 3 or 4 years, and you're going to have to figure out a new way to deal with this shit once again, or it's going to cost you money or time or something down the line. It's going to cost you something. That stuff never changes, right? It seems to just get bigger, or the consequences of making bad business decisions, of not firing somebody soon enough, or not separating your relationship with somebody, or not spending money in this area of your marketing strategy or your branch or whatever the case may be. Those problems don't go away. They just look different, and the consequences get much larger. So I've been told. And I don't disagree with them, right? I don't disagree with them. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into some of these things that I think are absolute bullshit. Like there's a oh my God, there is a ton of things that are being crammed down our throats right now, given for us as roofing contractors to sit around and discuss and to talk about. And none of them have anything to do with what you need to be doing as a business, right? It's all about whatever, but it is not what you need to be focused on. They're fucking lying to you, and I want you to understand that, because I know I compete with a lot of you guys watching here. I see the list of guys that are tuned into the live right now, and some of these names are from San Antonio, and so I know without a fact that some of these guys are going to be my competition, and I'm going to give that information to you tonight. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. I already said that, but I really appreciate this. Shit's therapeutic for us, right? We get an opportunity to do this and share our thoughts. But and another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is you're probably, if you're in Texas, I don't know how far the shitty ass weather in South Texas has spread, whether it's gone all the way up to DFW or not. But down here in San Antonio, again, conversation today, Dave, days like this, what am I going to do? I'm going to share with you what we do, and just give you the battle plan and let you know, here, take these steps and build this thing out, and go put this in with your team. If you're here in San Antonio or Austin or whatever, with this cold, wet, shitty weather that we're having, it might turn into something productive for us as roofing contractors, or it may just shit on our abilities to go out and go door to door if you're in door to door sales. Or if you're not in door to door sales and you're running leads all day, this weather's not really good for climbing on roofs, right? Like, let's all agree, climbing up steep asphalt roofs when they're wet, it sucks. It's not fun. Nobody wants to do that. Not for however much Mrs. Jones is willing to pay for us to go do chimney flashing. It's not happening. Shout out Pro Swag, cool cup. So I'm going to give you guys some tips, some things that we do to maintain our sales, to make sure that we are putting new leads in the pipe, because at the core of what we do, yes, we are roofing contractors, which means we have to understand construction, right? You have to know how shit is installed, and you have to also understand how to run a fucking business, right? That is an entirely different, you go to school to be an apprentice, to learn how to do carpentry, to learn how to, oh my God, it's the amount of stuff I could tell you about building a deck would take me a long time to explain to you what bearing is and how the code determines the species of lumber used when you're spanning when you're crossing a span of a certain width, and the minimum bearing points that you need to have between the rim joist and anything that's cantilever. It's just, there's a ton of stuff to it, right? And let's not get into all the math that I thought I was never going to fucking use in 8th grade, when Miss Weeks, shout out Miss Weeks, was giving me the breakdown of how fractions and degrees and shit like that work. And then I have to start cutting on angles and compound miters and stuff, and just being a framer. And it's a little bit difficult, right? It's hard to explain all that stuff. But if you're going to be a roofing contractor, you have a fucking obligation to go learn construction, right? You have to be a construction professional. I have a customer in San Antonio, Mr. and Mrs. Martinez. They left us a phenomenal review. They had a ridge beam that was sagging across their garage, and they were looking for a roofing contractor that could fix this issue with their sagging ridge beam. We're talking about 18 foot from side to side. So a lot of roofing contractors had stopped by, knocked on their doors, huge hailstorm, beautiful house. It was worth going up to. If you're a door-to-door sales guy, you would not have walked by this house. But the two roofing contractors that they talked to first time were like, oh yeah, we could take care of it. We could just, stiffen it up and da-da-da. But they couldn't explain to the couple how they planned on actually doing that, what they were going to do. And so, because I understand construction, because I have, 20 years at this point in residential construction, strictly residential, for at least, I'm going to say at least, without any commercial or industrial experience, at least 14 of those 20 years, right? Just 14 of those 20 years in residential, different types of construction. I'm able to explain what's causing the shelving that they had installed in their garage. The framers just nailed this crap right to the rafters in the old exposed pitched roof that's above the garage. And so it was over time pulling the rafters down, sagging the ridge across. Anyways, I draw this stuff out on a piece of paper for the Martinez's, and I explained to them what's happening and where the weight's being displaced across this wall, and where it's not properly bearing weight on the exterior walls of the garage, or the partition wall between the garage and the home. And what this is causing the problem with the rafters, the decking, so on and so forth above the garage, and the actual process of getting to that ridge and replacing these things. I have to be able to explain this shit. And I can go into a zone with you here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to spare you that. The point is, they gave us the work, $41,000 to do this roof and to repair this section of ridge beam. And we are talking about a phenomenal execution on that project. I'm very proud about the way that thing came out, and the review from the customer actual afterwards was a phenomenal testimony to what we were able to actually come in and do for them. So you have to understand construction. You have to be able to do this shit. You have to be able to explain it to somebody, and you can't be full of shit. You have to know what you're doing. And while roofing can be very simple, you can't just walk around the fact that it is a multiple 5 and sometimes 6-figure price tag. It is a very expensive thing that we as roofing contractors do. Usually, in most cases, the cost of a roof can equal up to or increase, like even more than 10% of the entire home's value. My roof is a $52,000. That's a $50,000 roofing system. My home's worth $600,000, so we're almost at 10% right there. So that's a big chunk of change when we talk about the value of a house, right? When we're discussing the cost of what we do, it's a huge price tag associated with it in most cases. And when you're doing a repair, that's something different, right? Like we can get away with most repairs under $100 in most cases, because it's usually like some stupid, a leaking pipe jack or a vent or something of that nature. Repairs, $100, $300. Sometimes a real intricate, if you got to get around a chimney and do some flashing and stuff, then you might be up in the couple hundreds, like 900, 2000, if it's really intricate. But by and large, what we do is very expensive in most cases, and you have to know what the fuck you're doing, or you're going to cause somebody a lot of problems. And on top of all of that, to be a successful business owner, okay, a roofing contractor, a company, something that generates a profit and it grows and gains employees and builds and puts back into the community and creates work and income for other people. If that's what you're going to build, then you have to pay attention to not just, oh, can I sell roofs and do I know how to install shingles? You have to understand what it takes to own a business, to grow a business. And that is something that I have learned to my best ability over the last 3 years. And it is not something that I think a lot of people are being honest with you about. So let's dive into that shit real quick. Number one, I think, how do I say this politely? I think a lot of time and energy and focus as entrepreneurs is spent in looking for the secret, right? The shortcut. We want the pill. We want the simple, fast solution to get from where we're at to where we want our company to be. And we are constantly racking our brains as entrepreneurs and thinking, am I outworking them? Am I doing better than them? What are they doing that I'm not doing? And taking these things into consideration. What they're doing and what you're not doing is selling roofs. It's very simple. Okay. And a lot of people are going to try and oh man, what are they going to do? They're going to basically steal your attention by dangling some sort of a silver object, and here's the secret to what you need to be doing as a roofing contractor. You need to be you need to be able to adopt this type of model. Okay, well, let's go to here, and I've fucking said this 100 times, but it's the attention that they're selling, because at the end of the day, they know an entrepreneur will pay for what he thinks is going to help him get. We do it with our software. We do it with our branding. We are willing as business owners to pay money for the things that are going to bring us customers. Okay. And if I'm selling you an idea that you need to have my software, let's just say I create a software. My software is going to be the thing that's going to close that gap for you with your customer, or my X, Y, and Z widget, or this little thing, or this trinket, or this gadget, or this sort of thing, right? I'm going to sell you that idea because I know at the base, you're an entrepreneur. Number two, you're a roofing contractor. So the chances are that because your price tags, your average ticket price is about $24,000 a job. And I know guys doing 4 a day. That is a shit ton of money. You touch a lot of cash, and you're probably willing to spend a portion of it on getting better or improving your business, which is true. And you should be doing that. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I do think you should be taking a large portion of your income and you should be putting it back into how do I grow my business and get more customers? How can I help more people? How can I build my business to get on employees and to bring people in? That should be something that you're focused on. Yes, you have to be profitable to do that, and you can't operate on slim. That means you can't operate on slim margins, right? So if you're going to grow a business, I'm not talking to guys that just want to sell roofs out of their living room. I'm talking about like, do what here fucking times 900, right? And it's there's going to be people that are going to try to sell you a bunch of bullshit on the way because they know you're willing to pay for it. Okay. And the solution for most of you guys is not to go out and to try and spend a bunch of time trying to turn 17 shingle repair into a full roof replacement in most cases, right? Because if you're going to think as a business owner, how much time are you spending, literally spending, being a forensic analyst and looking over this goddamn roofing system, okay, when you can create a relationship on 17 shingles for about $450? I'm willing to bet you in San Antonio I could get that done all goddamn day. Solve a problem, get off the roof, okay? Maybe deal with the project through insurance if there's a bigger issue at play. But if it is simple 17 wind damage shingles, I'm sending my repair guy. I'm going to build a relationship with you, and I'm moving on to the next customer because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time playing CSI certainty on this. We can't do that. You can't do that, guys. Your problem is not that you're missing a way to inspect a roof, or that you must have, this type of document sent by your homeowner. And yeah, that's all okay. Common sense. The homeowner has the fiduciary responsibility between the insurance company and the policyholder exists. It's between them. You got nothing to do with it. You're the construction professional. Stay the fucking construction professional and then be a professional company. Right? Just focus on those two things, because if you start going down this rabbit hole of playing CSI Miami on every roof you got, somebody like me just sold 5 more fucking roofs than you today. And that's the honest truth. As a business owner, you are every day, you are competing for your position in the market, and somebody out there is taking money from you to tell you that you should be focused on some magic fucking pill that's going to get you between point A and point B, and it's not fucking true. What's going to get you to where you want to go is 2 things. Discipline. You have to do the hard fucking work every day. Every day. It doesn't change. It doesn't go away. It never goes away. You have to be willing to deal with hard shit every day. And number 2, you have to be willing to fucking do it when nobody's looking. Okay. You have to have discipline, and you have to have accountability. Discipline. Now, you're saying, okay, Dave, what do I do? Just go knock doors every day? Yeah. If that's what you need to do in your business, then that's absolutely what you need to be spending your time with. Pro tip number 1, today we went out, shitty weather in San Antonio, absolute horrible weather. You know what we did? We made it a point to go door knocking in the rain. We use the data that we track inside of our CRM, our door knocking, right? My sales team, as a company, I'm focused on the growth of my sales team and my business. So we track the doors that we've knocked on, where we've worked, where we've built houses for different customers. And we only went to the houses today that we have previously made contact with, that we've previously supplied an estimate to, but we have not completed a roof replacement form for whatever reason. Maybe the customer had vacation time, or maybe they were going out of town because of Thanksgiving, or maybe they needed to save up money for their deductible, or maybe they weren't sure they were going to actually file a claim yet. Whatever the case may be, today we went to those houses and hand delivered a copy of that estimate, warranty information, personal information from our company, and to check on them because of all the wet weather that we had. So if you're looking for something that you can do in the rain to drive impact and to help build those relationships, there's pro tip number 1, go door knocking in the fucking rain. Okay, because there's people that haven't chosen to do business with you yet that you can still do business with, especially when they're looking up on Thanksgiving weekend and the water stain's getting bigger. It's been raining for 2 days in San Antonio. If you can't find work right now in San Antonio, you ain't fucking working hard enough. I promise you that. I promise you that. I went out door knocking with my guys. We did seven new customers, 20 doors, 7 new customers, and 5 of those are already in estimating. It doesn't change. It never goes away. The guys that are running these huge ass companies, Holden and Beldon and Lanier and Blue Hammer and all these other huge companies in Texas that I can tell you of right now, they're waking up and they're focusing on the same goddamn thing every day. And you know what that is? New sales. I promise you. I promise you, bro. The number one thing that they are focused on is generating new sales. Now, what do we have to do that? That's it. So if your limited resources right now put you in a situation where you have to go door knocking, then door knocking is what you need to do inside of your business. If you have resources and capital to go invest in a brand awareness campaign across a portion of your city and to pump money into your SEO and do what some of these guys are doing and jacking up their ad spend to 40,000 and 30,000 just to see if they can run Google's numbers, like most of us can't compete on the level that those guys are playing at. So what can you do that they're not doing? That's what you have to do, because your number one problem as a company is generating new sales. That means new relationships with customers, new problems solved, new problems identified, new solutions, and solutions that they love, which means don't sell everybody a goddamn roof replacement, a full roof replacement that only needs 15 shingles repaired, right? Or some flat. I'm gonna say 15. I'm just, damn, man, don't crucify me. I'm just saying. Right? Yeah, don't be mad at me because I'm also wearing Jordans. So don't hate me because I wear J's. Sometimes you get some hate because you listen to music, you listen to a certain type of music, or you wear some Jordans, or I like to wear hoodies too. I just wear blue, but I'm not gang affiliated or anything. It's just I like blue. Okay. So don't judge me. But pro tip number 1, go do something in the rain, right? Go make contact with those previous customers that you had. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. But if you're a business owner and you're like big balling, doing, multiple millions a year, you have the same fucking problem. You're not worried about door knocking in the rain because that's probably not where you generate a shit ton of your revenue. Okay. But the problem never goes away. You still have to have new sales. That never changes. So if that is the thing as a company, as a business, what you need to be focused on is generating new sales and making it, number 2, making it easier for the people inside of your organization to do the same thing, right? Because you're running a business. If you're roofing companies like mine, you have a team. There are people inside of our organization that do specific jobs, right? We have production managers, we have our finance and accounting and just, me, a lot of times I spend my time dealing with construction related issues or code or insurance. And then the sales guys are typically out generating the new customer relationships and solving problems and giving estimates and stuff. But my job never changes. It's focus on, number 1, new sales for the company, because that's what my company needs to live and to grow, is new customers. I'm a business. I need new customers. I have to get my product to them. Then number 2, I have to help the people inside of my product be successful easier, which means they need to be able to sell more in a faster method. Now, using a CRM is great. That's absolutely life-saving. It helps keep all your shit together. Tying it into your financial stuff like QuickBooks, boom, lifesaver, right? Company email helps you out. You get to do all that stuff. I use Canva for my marketing a bunch, for a lot of stuff. All this cool banner, this gangster stuff right here, all Canva, baby, right? And I think I pay like $100 something bucks a year for it. But I get to, okay, so that's what, but I'm spending my money on things, the brand, the marketing, the door hangers, the wraps on the trucks, the vehicles. You spend your money on things that build credibility in your business, for your business, inside of your community, right? Your brand, your presence on social media, the things that you do inside of, Home and Garden Show, the billboards that you hire, the billboards that you rent or lease, the ads that you put on Google, everything that you do, that's money that you spend in order to make it easier for new sales to convert. And if you have a door-to-door sales team, you need to do things that make it easier for them to go sell or to go do business or complete that transaction with the customer. Whether you're generating a bunch of leads on Google and you have guys that go out to the customer's house and do the inspection and sign the customer up, it doesn't matter. If you don't have that at all and you just go out door knocking for new customers, or if you have a call center, it doesn't, you're probably figuring out a better way to make a bigger badass call center. And what do I need? What kind of phones do we need? And what kind of staff do I need? Or what kind of things? That's what you're focused on. How can I make it easier for my business to generate new customers? Let me go spend. You have to be able to just be a goddamn business, man. Be a business, bro. Don't be a forensic. Don't think that you got to learn how to, tear apart a roof and 955 photos and do this. And you got to do, and inspect the documents and argue with the insurance adjusters. I mean, most cases, you don't have to argue with the insurance adjusters if you know construction, right? If you know construction, and sometimes you get these adjusters that are straight up assholes, but what you're going to need to know how insurance works is when an insurance adjuster doesn't want to pay you what you're owed in the depreciation because of what you had to do in construction. That's what's going to piss you off about insurance. The God's honest, that's what's going to piss you off the most, is trying to get your accounts receivable caught up with their fucking games about how much they think each nail cost, right? That's the biggest pain in the ass that you're going to have with the insurance. It's not like, oh, I have to understand. What was that shit we saw? I have to understand how to, say these questions to set this precedent and to do all this. Listen, there's a lot of good stuff that you can learn on the internet, but a lot of things are just extremely unnecessary. Extremely. Is it valuable? Yes. Is it nice for me as a business owner? I'm going to be honest with you, as a business fucking owner, to have 20 sales guys and 15 or 16 of them are forensic analysts when it comes to roofing and hail damage? Do you think that's good for me as a business owner? No, it's not. It's not, because the man hours associated with the time spent dealing with each one of those roofs drastically reduces the company's ability to bring in new customers. And if you are a commission sales guy, just I got some advice for you. Your whole goal is to go gather as many new customers as you possibly fucking can every day of your life. That is the secret, and it doesn't change. You can go decide to be a business owner tomorrow, and guess what? It doesn't change. You still have to go generate new sales. You still got to do it. That never goes away. How you do it might change, and what you do to accomplish that strategy might change, but the fact remains that you're going to have to be focused on new sales. So why would you want to, as a salesperson, why would you want to spend 9 hours dissecting Mrs. Jones' roof when you can solve her problem with a solution that she would love, even if that solution is offer her financing? Because you really don't want to drag her through this 9-month-long process with her insurance. Not over 17 shingles that were just installed 7 years ago. The 3-tab still fits. Okay, let's be honest. Not every roof needs to be completely torn off and replaced, guys. That's not every roof needs that. I got on a lady's roof 2 days ago, and she told me that the roofer before me told her that she needed to replace the roof and file the claim. There was like 3 hail hits on that whole thing. 3. Okay. She did not need to file a claim. Absolutely did not. She asked me, Dave, what can you do? I'm like, you could replace each one of those shingles now if you wanted to, but I mean, it's probably not going to cause you problems for like quite a few years. She was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I take your money for doing the repair. Best thing anybody could do is come up here and put a little bit of caulk on it and sprinkle some asphalt granules and make it go away. Otherwise, you just leave it there and the sun's going to dry it up over the time. It's going to take a few years for it to do that. And even if it does, let's be honest, it's a 3-tab. So it's sitting on top of another shingle, which is sitting on top of underlayment. the likelihood that that little spot, one of 3 spots on your roof, is going to cause a leak that you're going to have catastrophic water damage, slim to none, homie. So I don't know. I don't need to do a full roof replacement on every roof. That's not reasonable. Okay. Now, write up an estimate and solve the problem because you're a business owner. So yeah, if you want us to do that, I'd come out here. It'd be about $225. You know, buy me lunch. I'll come out and replace the shingles. The God's honest truth is you need to be focused on building relationships and generating new sales. And you need to know how shingles are installed. You need to know how roofing systems, metal roofs are installed. So if you're going to spend your money on anything related to growing your business, it needs to be the following things. Get a pen, write this down, snapshot. Number one, you need a CRM system or some way to track your customers' information. You need a way to build roofs efficiently. As you gather customers, you have to complete construction projects. So you have to be able to provide the product that you're selling to them. And then you have to, number three, you have to be able to collect your money. It doesn't matter if it's the insurance company that's paying the bill. You got to learn how to collect your money from them. It doesn't matter if it's the customer that's paying the bill. You have to learn how to collect your money from them. Doesn't change. Okay. The shit never goes away. And I don't know why so many guys, I take that back. I said it at the beginning. They're selling you the shortcut. And a lot of guys are willing to buy it, you know. Sitting in a conversation with a roofer, and he was showing me all this stuff that he had spent this money on when he invested. And he was like, boom, I got this badass this and this badass website and this cool ass, look at these, dude. And it looked great. It was fucking phenomenal. Okay. Absolute fire. I was disgusted with the way that my website looked in comparison to his website. I was like, damn, not disgusted. I think my website is pretty cool. I like it. It's cool. But I was like, bro, yours has fucking these little and things. And I, boom. And that was cool. Right. Like there was a whole little movie that popped up at first and that was dope. It was awesome. I liked it. But I liked it. I'm a guy, right? I'm a roofing contractor. I like dirt bikes and dumb shit. So I was easily impressed. I'm a dude. Okay. It doesn't take much. He had all this stuff. And I said, bro, how many leads have you gotten through your website since you did that? And he looked at me and he said, it's been up for a year and we've gotten 0 leads within our website. And I said, okay, roger that. And I'm not saying that he spent money in the wrong spot, because I think having a great website, a good looking website, a website that's laid out well, that's physically appeasing, it's absolutely important. And when you get the opportunity to invest in your SEO and your online presence and your online brand strategy and lead generation, there's a time for that. Right. But unless you're coming into business with a couple million in capital that you can use on developing your website and your SEO and your lead generation and how it's going to push things into a funnel and get you booked appointments online and how you're going to pencil whip Google's ass into doing what you want every 6 out of 10 searches. And that takes a lot of money. So Dave, how do we get to that point? Go sell a bunch of roofs. You got to do whatever you got to do. Okay. Same thing for the new sales guys. If you're new in roofing sales, I hate to break it to you. Unless you're working for a company, you can go work for a company that gives you leads. Hell yeah. Right. But unless you're, and I don't know any of those companies that are offering 50% of the gross profits or, that large, because there's a great opportunity to make really good money in roofing sales, especially if you just know construction and you're fairly decent at just having a conversation with random people. If you're likable and you can carry on a conversation and you can be taught different things about roofing and you're not completely retarded, you can do really well. It doesn't take much, right? It really doesn't take a whole lot. You just have to be willing to do the same shit every day over and over and over until it produces a specific result. That's it. So if you're in door-to-door sales, you have to go out and do door-to-door sales over and over and over and over again, based on a certain formula of leads entered to estimates created to contracts signed to roofs paid and closed equals a certain amount of money in your pocket, which means you control how the formula is going to shit out numbers on the back end. It's all on you. 100% it's on you. Now, if you're being paid money to go run leads, there's nothing wrong with that. Go do that. Is a whole fucking business model that you can create if you have a large amount of inbound leads. What does it take to do that? Usually a lot of money, right? Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. That's what it takes. So no matter what it is that you're going to do to go generate leads, that's what you got to do. And if it's door knocking, your entire job as a commission salesperson and door-to-door sales is to stay on top of the amount of leads entered into the box. That should be your number one goal, because the numbers tell you that certain amount of those customers are going to do business with you. And as long as you're learning to improve your customer service skills, your knowledge about roofing, how you interact, if you're willing to invest money or time into watching YouTube videos on learning how to carry on an engaging conversation, or to talk in using things like inflection and deflection, there's a lot you can do to improve your odds of building new relationships and getting new customers to do business with you. If you're a commission salesperson, if you're in door-to-door sales, there's a lot of stuff you can do to increase the amount of money that you make. And very little of the strategies that you're ever going to hear from a real motherfucker tell you about making money in roofing sales involve you spending 19 hours on one roof. It's not there. That is not where you're going to be successful. It's learning how to do a full and complete and thorough roofing inspection efficiently, quickly, slow as smooth as fast. Learning how to do that, learning how to identify different types of things. And that all comes with time, wisdom, and experience. Okay. A new sales guy that's just been doing this for 3 weeks is not going to get up and do an inspection on a roof faster than somebody that's been doing it for 5 years. Right? I could probably fly to Georgia right now and meet with any of those roofers over there and get on a roof with them. And these guys that have been doing it for 12, 10 years and shit like that, dude, they would smoke me in their ability to find all the wind damage on a roof. And they've been looking at roofs in Georgia for decades, right? 5 years, 10 years. I've only been doing this for 5, right? Like, so here's my limited ass experience coming into somebody that's been doing it for 10. Why do you think that you're just going to go into business one out of 13,000 new roofing companies that came out this year? And you think for some reason you are going to have everything that it takes with all these things that you paid for in these classes and the software and the shortcut and this bullshit, and it's going to skyrocket you into roofing sales success. It's not. But there's money in selling the secret. There's money in selling the secret. And as a salesperson whose entire income model focuses on your ability to close deals and to get roofs paid for, if you're in insurance restoration or if you're in retail sales, to provide reasonable finance options that customers love, I don't know how many more times I have to say it. That's it. That's it. I'd love to tell you that there's some big ass secret about this shit, but there's really not. You just got to go sell more roofs. And that'll open up a lot of doors for you. And then you can invest in things like SEO and brand strategy and Google pay-per-click, or you can come to the table on day one in your business company with millions of dollars of cash and you can skip all that. But if you don't have that money, you got to do the fucking hard work. That's it. You got to do the hard work. There's nothing else that's going to get you to where you want to go except for doing the hard work. And what that hard work is whatever it fucking looks like for you right now. If that means winter months, you've only got 7 hours of daylight, you need to go out and knock doors. If you need to go knock doors like I did today, I stopped by 7 homes that I had prepared packets and envelopes for and checked on them and let them know, hey, I know you haven't chosen a roofing contractor yet. I know you haven't done this yet. I clearly, I just want you to understand we care about you. If there's something you need, I remember the pipe jack on the back. I'll run up there, seal it with the silicone real quick. And I had 2 of those customers today tell me, hey, Dave, after Christmas, let's do this. Okay, great. I just want to check in with you because I want to build a relationship before somebody else has an opportunity to come in and outwork me. As a business owner, that's what I want. I'm competing against everybody at all times. And if you're saying like, oh no, we're not competing and bullshit. Yes, you are. You're always competing with your corner for your little portion of the market. And so today I was outside competing in the rain. when other motherfuckers were sitting around sleeping and doing. That's what it takes. That's the level that I'm playing on. That's where I'm at in my business. Maybe you're at a different place in your business, but I promise you, if you woke up today and you didn't think about your business once, you probably you're there. Like you woke up and you didn't worry once about your business, and you knew it was shitting out new customers and cash, and it was making money today, and the machine was moving. You Congratulations, bro. You did that. Nice work. If that's not what you did when you woke up this morning, it's time to fucking get to work. Plain and simple. Time to get to work. So stop looking around for what you think the shortcut is. Stop looking to spend your money on all these bullshit things and go out and touch doors, touch relationships, build new relationships, find commercial business. Jesus Christ, you know how easy it is in San Antonio to find a retail store that needs a roof leak repaired right now? It's easy. Go to oh my God, it's easy. You can go to any of the retail stores in any part of New Braunfels. I mean, I'm not talking about the ones that are in the malls and stuff, like, because that's huge property management corporations and there's people you got to talk to and vendor lists and blah blah blah. But these owner occupied buildings, you can go to them in the fucking rain. They don't want the merchandise inside the store getting wet, and they definitely don't want ceiling tiles that look like shit. You can go offer them silicone repairs that you can do in the rain to get them through this nasty weather and build that relationship and gather a new customer. You can do that. And if that's where you need to be in business, is out building those relationships face to face, then fucking go do it. Because that's what that's what you need to do. And there's no magic pill. Stop giving your money to these clowns. Stop doing that shit to yourself. Now, if any of y'all are watching this that are in roofing sales, I want you to holler at me. Holler at me. Seriously, if you're in Texas and you're ever like cruising around San Antonio, you're like, damn, I wonder, I have these conversations with dudes all the time. I don't care. Call me. Yeah, we'll talk. I'll give you my advice. I may not be right. Let me just throw that out there. Might not be right. But at least, I'm not going to tell you some bullshit that I don't think is true. So for what it's worth, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me tonight. I definitely, damn, how long do we go? 42 fucking minutes. Whew, man, it is bedtime. Okay. It's time for me to go. Y'all have a great night. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Again, Dave Taggart, CEO at A5 Roofing, MF CEO here at Roofing Underground, your favorite roofer's favorite roofer. I appreciate y'all joining me. Have a good night.